So what was the first job coming out of school?
So first job after school was at this place called Janus Properties. There was these two developers that got a bunch of buildings in Harlem when the mayor was giving away buildings for $1 back in the day. So they owned a bunch of buildings in Central Harlem and a little bit in West Harlem. And at the time I was living in Harlem, so it was kind of cool. I used to walk to work. So that was kind of cool. It was hard because it was a small firm and like they had super duper high expectations for the staff. So the benefit of working at a small entrepreneurial shop is you get to touch everything, you get to see everything, you get to experience everything. So from constraints on the budget to signing the lease, looking at the contract, looking at insurance, staffing, moving a family in, moving somebody out, kind of like everything I got to experience. Not that I think that's sustainable, but I did get a look at, here's a way to do this. Which part of these am I good at? Which other parts that maybe I should kind of delegate to others? And then from there, I worked for a little bit at this place called Silverstone Property Group, which is like the development and construction arm of what's Madison Realty Capital. So at the time, there's these really young guys who raised lots of money to buy a lot of buildings across New York City. And the growth trajectory was buying walk-up buildings. So they were buying lots of 4-story apartment buildings, which is too small for the really big folks. So they just had this game of buying a bunch of these like everywhere. Crown Heights, Brooklyn, Lower East Side, Upper West Side, kind of all over the place. They had this little middle market kind of game, but they were buying a lot of buildings, raised a lot of money. And we were doing renovations and Hurricane Sandy had happened. So we were renovating some buildings that were coming out of that condo building in Lower Brooklyn, an apartment building in Staten Island, fast-paced, swiftly growing startup, or it wasn't even a startup, swiftly growing company. But I didn't necessarily feel like I fit with the company culture at the time. So I ended up connecting with this gentleman named Ed Poteet that I hit him up because I was looking at another job to interview. And I said, hey, do you know anybody there? And he said, no, but I'm interviewing here. So Ed Poteet has a Black-owned real estate development firm called Carthage based in Central Harlem. And at the time, I thought, like, you know what? Like, based on my trajectory right now, I could bring a lot of value here. That my construction experience, my design and building experience, my being able to kind of do everything experience, that I felt like at the time, like I could probably bring value here. I think I could do that. And that ended up turning out to be true.